I think Velo is a hidden gem because reaching the price of $1 during this bull run, that right there wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. Even though nothing I say is financial advice nor a guarantee, that right there is around a 77x from here. So yeah, I don't think it's caca. But even still, despite that, why do I think it could happen? I think it's because Velo has rock solid fundamentals. Because even despite a lot of people liking to say, oh wow, Velo's not cool, it's not interesting. Well, yeah, it's not a meme coin, Maybe it doesn't have that type of hype in that sense, but I think that when you take a look at its fundamentals, it's one of the best. After all, Velo is a blockchain-enabled financial system and decentralized settlement network that is designed to make the transfer of value between one country to another more efficient. Now, some people may be thinking, okay, that's kind of a mouthful, sounds very complicated, but basically, if you take a look at it in simple terms, Velo, it's focused on cost-effective cross-border payments and as well as remittances. Now, there's two key takeaways from this, in my opinion, because I think these two markets do have a lot of potential. First of all, let's take a look at the payments market. The payments market is currently valued at over $2 trillion. So, yeah, that's not bad. Now, some people may argue that, okay, when it comes to the payments market, a lot of projects are focused on that. What do you mean this is interesting? It's nothing cool. Well, okay, let's see we remove that aspect, right? Let's see we focus on remittances. Now, this right here is where things get a little bit more exciting and cooking, as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would say, because this right here is very different from, I would say a lot of projects out there where they actually focus on this type of stuff. And remittances, let's give this an example. For instance, right? Let's say I am from, São Paulo, Brazil, and then I'm working in, let's say, Johannesburg in South Africa, right? Let's say I'm working there. If I'm working there and let's say I have family back home, each month, of course, because I'm a good individual, in my opinion, I'd probably send, cash back, right? Or I would in this case. And then at that point, of course, sending money back to Brazil, that right there is remittance. So yeah, that's very crucial in my opinion. Now, you got to think about this. A lot of international workers are out there as of right now. A lot of people work abroad. And of course, each month, a lot of them, they're going to be sending stuff back home. And of course, that right there needs a very efficient solution. Now, you take a look at how globally this is, again, something that needs a very amazing solution. But Velo, they understand that if they cast a very big net in a very big ocean, it's going to be very difficult to catch the fish that they want. So I think they understand that. And then they're like, okay, let's focus on more so of a smaller region, which is why initially they were focused on the Southeast Asian region. Now, you may be wondering, okay, why Southeast Asia, right? Because there's a lot of international workers and they do need an efficient remittance solution. For instance, right? We take a look at, in 2020, according to BPB, there was nearly 24 million Southeast Asians living outside their country of origin. So could you imagine their remittance there? Now, this data is a little bit like, from back then, right? Because it is from 2020. As of right now, there's probably going to be a lot more international workers, I would hypothetically assume. But even despite that, there's probably, again, going to be a lot of remittance there. Now, not to mention, if you take a look at just things globally, right, on a massive scale, you take a look at, according to Grandview Research, the global digital remittance market is expected to reach over $60 billion by 2030. So, yeah, that's very impressive, in my opinion, in terms of the market that Velo is focused on. They understand that, hey, there's a niche here. There's something that we can be focused on. And it doesn't mean that we have to be a meme coin. We don't have to be this flashy nonsense project. No, they understand that. They understand that, hey, we're focused on a market that probably isn't the most exciting, but it's very useful just for a real world type of application, if that makes sense. And I like that about them. I like, fun projects as well, like meme coins, but I also like, serious projects as well, much like Velo, because I think there's a need for that. And I think there's also a need for something like that in my portfolio. Not to mention, you take a look at how Velo is also focused on something called CDFI, which actually stands for Centralized Decentralized Finance, which some people may think is kind of corny. But here's the thing. It just basically combines the good aspects of centralized finance and as well as decentralized finance. So it just creates like a good medium in between. It's like a hybrid car, you know what I mean? So that right there, I think, is a genius move because people, they may not like DeFi, aka decentralized finance. Some people may not entirely like centralized finance, aka CeFi. So a best of, both worlds or both scenarios type of situation. Why not? That's the forward-thinking mindset that they have. That's the genius of Velo. But yeah, even besides that point, we take a look at how when it comes to Velo, the thing is, they're very complete. You take a look at how, for instance, they have something called Quantum, a one-stop lightning speed remittance network. You take a look at Universe, a multi-chain super decentralized exchange. Nova Chain, an affordable, universal blockchain network. Even Orbit, a crypto super app. And as well as Warp, a multi-network cross-chain bridge. So yeah, that's very amazing. At least that's the way to take a look at it. Not to mention, you take a look at when it comes to Velo, they even have a stablecoin called USDV, which some people may think is a little bit caca because they're like, we don't really need another one. There's so many, but who cares, right? If Velo wants to have a stablecoin, why not, Yeah, that's the way to take a look at it. But even besides that point, we have to take a look at that it's not useless. We have to see that Velo's involvement with BlackRock, and more specifically with BlackRock's tokenized short-term treasury fund into their USDV stablecoin. So that's insane right there. BlackRock, it's pretty much one of the biggest things out there. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone's probably, heard of BlackRock. So yeah, that's crazy in my opinion. Not to mention, we take a look at, Velo also very recently, or should I say, not too recently, like quite a while back ago, they had a collaboration with the Laos. Laos is a very amazing country, by the way. Bullion Bank to integrate gold into blockchain. Now, I have some friends who've been to Laos. I have never personally been there, but I think this is great news nonetheless, because from what I've heard, again, the country is amazing, according to my friends. So that's why I really like this news as well. If you think about it, Velo, they have a grand vision. You know what I mean? They're not focused on partnering up with celebrities, athletes. This is not what they do, man. This is a different type of vibe right here. A lot of other projects out there, instead of spending millions towards development, they spend millions towards hiring athletes, celebrities. They want Taylor Swift to sing them a song or whatever like that. But this is just not the vibe here, man. It's a totally different vibe again. And I think Velo, again, at the price of $1, I don't see why not. I think it's very impressive. Now, like I mentioned earlier on the video, it is around a 77x from here. Now, is that necessarily a bad thing? Because some people, they may think, okay, there's, micro caps out there that could do 1000x. And I understand that. There could very well be a $50,000 market cap, project that could, let's say, go to the billions of market cap. We just don't know, right? During a fully fledged bull run. But then I'm not willing to risk with something like that, if that makes sense. I'm not willing to, fully believe in something that's too risky like that. That's a little bit too much risk for my appetite, if that makes sense. I'd much rather choose something that's a happy medium in between. Not so small where it's risky for me. Now, there's always going to be risk, I understand that, but at least it's a little bit more mitigated in my opinion. But then at the same time, it's not some sort of random caca dinosaur like a Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, or Solana that can't do, let's say, over 20x from where they are as of right now during this bull run. So that's why we like Velo. Potential upside isn't the greatest, I'll admit that, but then it's good enough for me because anything over 10x, I don't mind. So yeah, I don't think this is bad at all. Now, even at the price of $1, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $7.5 billion. It's not too bad. That's not even 10% of Dogecoin's all-time high market cap. Dogecoin 1 point reach over 80 billion. It's not too much to ask for. At least that's the way to take a look at it, especially when you consider how amazing Velo is, its partnerships, and how there's currently over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, more than ever before in history. Also, on top of that, you take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, and the number of institutional investors and enterprise adoption. This bull run could be so amazing. Now, again, I personally wouldn't want to acquire an Ethereum or Bitcoin, but I still do believe that the ETF is amazing nonetheless for the whole crypto space overall. Just imagine once Bitcoin goes to the price of $150,000, could you imagine what the altcoin season could be? And maybe, Bitcoin could reach far higher than that. You take a look at the trajectory in which it's heading, I think 100,000 is easy peasy. So 150,000, maybe even, let's say 200,000, why not, right? During a fully fledged bull run. I just don't see why that hypothetically wouldn't be the case. Now, only time will tell around 6 months to a year from right now. We'll have to wait and see. But as the old saying goes, a high tide raises all ships. So I think that when things are fully euphoric, I think Velo is going to go along with the ride. Just think about this, right? For the people out there that say, oh, Velo won't join that ride. Here's the thing. A Litecoin, something caca like that, in my opinion, in 2021 pumped absolutely insane. Even Luna Classic found a bottom. People pump that for fun. Luna Classic has no future. Let's face it. It's basically like a meme coin, even worse than that, because it just has a very bad history, right? If you think about it. Not to mention, even Klima DAO found a bottom. So Velo can't go to the price of $1 during this bull run, let's say during a fully fledged bull run when the FOMO and buying pressure is amazing. I just don't see why not, hypothetically, of course, but that right there wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I think it's a hidden gem. Even though it's on a small project by any means, sometimes people don't really focus on that. That's why I think it's a hidden gem. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's Willie the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.